Tonight, a young man is gunned down in Pave. A community under siege. Residents cry out for peace. And the church re-examines its role in stemming the growing crime problem. The details of these stories and more coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good night. It is Thursday, the 27th of August, 2020. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. I'm Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. St. Lucia recorded its 31st homicide for 2020 in Pave Castries on Thursday, the 27th of August, with the shooting death of a male. Officers responded to the Pave community after 9 a.m. in response to reports of gunfire. Upon arrival at the scene, they found 28-year-old Jade Rosary in a pool of blood emanating from what appeared to be a bullet wound. Shaka Wooding reports.
After 9 a.m. on Thursday morning, officers from the Royal St. Lucia Police Force responded to reports of a shooting at Pave Castries. Upon arrival, the officers found one individual in a pool of blood, nursing what appeared to be bullet wounds. The individual in question was later transported to the OKEU hospital, where he succumbed to his injuries. The victim has been identified as 28-year-old Jade Rosary, a resident of Pave. Community members spoke against the backdrop of the morning incident.
He's a hustler. He's selling pacifist thing and sell. He's selling his little dal, his little banana cake, fruit. That's what he was doing. All the time, the man doing that, not now.
I saw some person in the balcony looking dead. I said, what is that going on there? Because I raised in that area, and that area was never saw. I saw all the person outfit has a lot of blood, all that when the ambulance come, all the clothes was dirty. As if it's like somebody they you see like a cow they kill or whatever. As if it's that way. As if it's that voodoo. I feeling so sad. And I understood the mother is a woman that I'm calling Miss Theodora, but I don't know if she's wrong or if she's at her home or not. Because I saw a lot of people was going inside of the place there. I saw a lot of person was going in there.
It has been alleged by members of the community that this incident may have been the result of an altercation which took place on Tuesday prior between the victim and another community member. Here are the details from local law enforcement.
On Thursday, 27th August 2020, Fire Service Headquarters forwarded a call to the Grizzly Fire Station of a shooting in Pave at approximately 0836 hours, which is 8:46 a.m. Two colleagues responded by ambulance to the scene from the Grizzly Fire Station. On arrival at scene, police officers attached to the Royal St. Lucian Police Force were already on scene, and on making contact with the patient, we noticed that it was a 28-year-old male with a single gunshot wound to his right upper flank. Patient's right arm appeared to be dislocated, and the gunshot penetrated his arm into his chest, but there was no exit wound. CPR was commenced on scene, and patient was transported to the OKEU hospital, where he was handed over with negative vitals. They found him with negative vitals, and he was handed over with negative vitals. The incident took place at Pave in Marshall.
This has been the third homicide recorded in the past week and the 31st recorded in 2020. For Hot 7 News, I am Jaka Wooding.
Thank you, Jaka. Now, members of the Pave community say they are under siege from those who perpetrate gun violence. Many community members indicated that they would not speak on camera for fear of their own personal safety during what they say has become dangerous times. However, a few brave residents spoke to us about what they say has become the familiar sound of gunshots and their desire for peace in the community. Genevieve Gonzague has more.
In the past week, 3 men have lost their lives to gun violence. The latest victim is 28-year-old Jade Rosary of Pave Castries. Many residents have indicated that they are no longer surprised when gunshots ring out in the community. One individual who has been residing in Pave for the past 30 years told Hot 7 that gun violence and gang warfare are sadly nothing new.
They tell me never change.
So,
I had a cause the same way. Because somebody taking somebody and they tell me I can pass there to go at my home. I had to go climb the hill and climb a thing there for a wall, slide a wall down to go at my home.
okay.
That's been happening there for the longest while. Not good, man. Not good. Because I feeling bad myself. That's why you see my children, I tell them don't lame by the road at all. Stay home. I'm free boys. Stay home. Do not lame by the road because them fellas by the road give you change in your life. And so I be.
Jabatis says he can offer up no solutions to the problem and is at a loss for what can be done to completely change the neighborhood and the stigma attached to it. Another resident explained that she is distraught and by her account, the community has changed drastically over the years and she says it has been for the worst.
Because I raised in that area and that area was never so. It was never like that, brother. I was feeling a kind of way sad. All now I'm sad for now. Because even though that person is not my family, but I'm not happy. I'm not happy, you all know.
Residents say they fear for the younger generation and the proliferation of gun violence in inner city communities. They appeal for the formation of positive youth groups to steer young men in particular on the right path. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
The growing spate of violent crime continues to raise concerns within the religious community. Reverend Seth Ampadu of the Methodist Church says crime has been a long-standing problem, and while the church is doing what it can, other institutions such as the family need to do their part and work in conjunction with the church to help sway youth away from crime.
Recently, the Pentecostal faith hosted Operation Combat Mission, a prayer session to sensitize the nation on crime and its many adverse effects on the society. Following Thursday's homicide of a young man in the community of Pave, Hot 7 reached out to another religious leader to find out what more the church plans to do to help fight crime. Superintendent Minister of the Methodist Church, Reverend Seth Ampadu, explained that the church is playing its part in helping people commit to a life away from crime. He says the church, however, cannot do it all and has made a special appeal for families to ensure they raise, nurture, and support their children so as to ensure they grow on the right path.
The church is doing their part, and I believe that the family system, we need to stress how to build back the family system, because when the family is not strong, it affects the society. So we want to appeal to parents to make sure, you see, the church cannot do everything. The church will do its part. But the parents at home, how we raise our children, all those things are very important from the beginning. We need to instill the discipline of Christianity in our children from scratch. And I believe that when that kind of discipline is instilled in these children, they will grow with it and we'll have a peaceful society.
He further went on to explain the country is in grave danger on all fronts, given that the island is already facing difficult times with the COVID-19 pandemic and the potential for crime to further impact the economy by affecting the fragile tourism industry.
It is so unfortunate that these things are happening, in our society, which for me, it is not good for the society at all. Because especially where we are in a crisis time due to COVID, the challenges that poses to us. And if we continue to go into that tangent of killing each other, it doesn't augur well for the nation, because we are in the moment of trying to bring more investment, the tourists to come in. But when they read the news about the shootings, the killing, the homicide, sometimes it will scare them, you know. But our economy depends on tourism, you know. So we need to be very careful about what we do. Sometimes we think we want to satisfy our ego now, but we don't think about the future, the implication, the impact, the negative impact that will bring on our economy.
Ampadu says he does not think all is lost and believes there can be a turnaround in the number of violent activities being seen on island. He made a plea to members of the public, particularly youth, to learn to resolve conflict in the proper way, or at least make use of the institutions that can and will help when challenging situations arise. He says youth in particular need to understand that they are the future of tomorrow.
Thank you, Genevieve. A post circulating in the media has sparked debate and concern about a possible increase in school fees at the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. On Thursday, the college cleared the air and sought to alleviate public concern. SALCC's Public Relations Officer, Natalie Jolie Fannis, explained that there would be no increase in prices and that it was all just a misunderstanding. Genevieve Gonzaga explained.
Screenshots and photos of the fee structure at the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College for the academic year 2020-2021 has raised a myriad of questions in the public domain. The circulating information shows that the fees per semester would increase drastically. The college has been made aware of the concerns of the public and on August 26th issued a press release addressing the social media posts. Public Relations Officer of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, Natalie Jolie Fannis, explained that there have been no increases in the fees, unlike what is being reflected online, and explained what may have sparked the misunderstanding.
The fees that were circulating on social media are fees for a very specific program offered by the college and does not reflect all of the fee schedules at the college. Given that there are different levels of qualifications, the fees change. So there is really not one set fee to the college. However, I think what most persons are interested in are the students who are continuing. The fees have not changed for them. And our associate degree program, the fees remain relatively the same. We do have new programs that have their own fee structure, but it is not significantly different from the fees that currently exist for our existing associate degrees.
Fannis explained if the fees were to be increased, due notice would be given to continuing students. She also explained that in a matter of weeks, all costs of all courses being offered will be made available to the public via the college's website.
The plan was for us to put all our new programs as well as the fee structure that corresponds with it on our website. And that is how we are moving so that everyone is aware of what the fee structures are. So that should have been done, and it will be visible in at least a week, so persons can see the fee structures, particularly for our new offerings of bachelor programs, because that is definitely a fee structure that people would have to prepare for.
The college informs that continuing students will be invoiced accordingly, and their information will be made accessible on the students' SONIS account at the college. The public is also informed that the college is still currently processing responses to applications for the 2020-2021 academic year and is working assiduously to facilitate enrollment next week. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzaga.
You're watching the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Still to come, residents of Belfort Soufrière are up in arms over prolonged water shortages. St. Lucia is ranked 6th for GDP losses due to COVID-19. The tourism minister reacts, and renewed calls for a national museum. That and more after the break.